I got to get a bigger desk. Let me open this up off screen and then I'll stick it on the screen. Looks like he put enough shielding to protect it. Get this here. There we go. So here's the monster. Nope, it was advertised without propellers. So this looks really massive. There's a looks like the ESC is sandwiched in between here. You can see the 4 of those. It's got LED light strips. That's nice. Appears to be 2212s, 980 kV. And it has, let's see, that says LED VSEN 256S. So I guess this holds up to a 6S battery, or you're allowed up to a 6S battery. 2.4 gigahertz. What we got here? DRX Orange RX. So I have to figure out what protocol that is. It's using a NASA. It's a battery connection. It's using a NASA flight controller, which is a DJI. I guess DJI originally, before they actually fully was making their own drones, maybe they were making flight controllers to be used. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I wonder if that's for the balance port on a 4S battery. Could be. I'll have to check into that, see where it's actually running to before I try to plug something like that in there. It's running over to a module over here. And it has a port that it is coming out and going to the NASA controller. And then some more stuff out the back. So I'll have to do a research. So this right here, like I said, was advertised as a fully functioning working drone. And so everything's kind of looking good. I'll go over it even more before I try to pair something or plug a battery into it or anything like that. But I think I want to try to get this thing in the air maybe this weekend so we can take a look at it. Get the tape off. Don't want to come off my fingers. So I want to kind of just look things over to make sure I don't plug a battery in and it blows up. Because I hadn't done anything with this NASA controller before. Don't really know where this may have been plugged in. Potentially back here, maybe. Looks like a 3D printed case. Let me look at the picture again and see where this was actually mounted, because I think it was mounted in the picture. Yeah, it's like back in here. And I don't know if it was mounted up here or what. Let me see if I can see a different angle. So it goes down below this deck. Yeah, so okay, so what I can tell was actually mounted right here. So they had one going through there, and then using that one right there. So let me go ahead and put that back in place. Okay, so I mean that's where it was on the picture, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it ain't pointing forward. It's kind of purting over that away. So this was advertised, and I don't know, I'll probably cut all that junk out. It's just aggravating to me. So this was advertised as a huge camera drone, and it's definitely big. That is no doubt whatsoever. This appears to have a nylock nut upside down on it. Never mind. So we're going to have to try to work out the propeller thing to see what we need to do to get propellers on here. I may or may not have some we can stick on here. I don't know. But I am looking forward to trying to give this thing a test to see what we can do with it. Supposedly, I mean, as it said, it was a fully functioning and working. That tells me 9 to 10 inch props, maybe. 4 to 6S battery. Which that there's 5 wires, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if that is for the balance port on the battery, okay. It won't do a 6S, but you can still plug a 6S in here. This would take a 4S because 5 wires would mean a 4S. And so that would be 18 volts. So I would definitely have to use my little 6S batteries. I've got 2 of those, and that's what I'd have to use on here because I don't have a 4S. The next one down that I have is a 3S, and this is not saying that a 3S would be compatible with it. And I do not want to change any of that kind of stuff up just to be on the safe side. DJI NASA FC with GPS Hobby King Orange RX R615X DSM2 DSMX compatible 6-channel 2.4 gigahertz receiver with CPPM KV 980s. So I have to do some research on that protocol to see if I have something that I can use to control it. I'm not entirely sure. I do have a Radio Master, what is it, a TX12, and it has a JR slot on the back of it, and I have a multi-module, a 4-in-1, that can sync up to this. I would rather not change anything. I would rather leave everything at default just because. I'm kind of interested in what all is what all. like this deal right back on the back here. You've got a mini or micro USB connector. I don't know what that is. It's giving you a 2S to a 6S symbol on it. VSend LED. So I don't know if that's some kind of remote for the LEDs on the bottom of it or exactly what. Flip FPV. So I don't know what that means. The landing gear's a little wobbly. That ain't all that spiffy, but I guess you can run that out and it ends up a little stabler maybe. I don't know. Definitely got to do a little bit of research on this thing before I plug a battery in. Hopefully I'm learning my lesson on just randomly plugging batteries into eBay stuff. If you haven't seen the video, you will. You'll understand exactly what I'm saying. I don't see a USB port on that NASA controller unless there's something. Maybe that's the USB port right there. Could be. Where does that go? That is going down here somewhere. I don't know. We're just going to have to do a little research, kind of look at things, see what's what. I know I have some smaller propellers that came with something else. I don't remember what, but it came with something. And I may be able to put those smaller propellers on here. They may not be big enough to get lift. There's like three blades on those propellers. So potentially, maybe, they could get lift on this. I'll have to try to figure out what I need to do to get a remote tied in. And if I don't have a remote that I can get tied in, then I won't be able to do it. But hopefully I can get something set up and maybe get this off the ground potentially this weekend. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I would definitely eventually go with, longer blades. So what is the distance between? So the distance between shafts, because these are fixed legs, you can't fold them or adjust them. So it is basically 10 3/4 inches between shafts, centers on shafts. So to avoid propellers touching, I guess a 10-inch propeller would be 5-inch extension. So like 5 inches from here versus 5 inches from here would give you 3/4 inch in between because of centers. And then you've still got 5 inches there, and you wouldn't contact the main control body. So I guess that's what that means is 9 to 10-inch propellers. So you can put a propeller on here that sticks out from center up to 5 inches long, which will give you a 10-inch propeller spinning, and they won't collide with one another, and they won't collide with the main body on the drone. So that's my take on what those instructions mean. And for you drone guys, I'm sorry. I'm just stupid. Okay. I apologize. I'm new to this and I'm guessing at things because I don't know, but I'm learning, and I'm looking to you guys to help me figure things out that I may or may not be getting right. Oh, there we go. So see, I was concerned that just moves. That's not solid. That shaft, that's twisted on that shaft. So that's why they put a piece of heat shrink on the shaft to hopefully hold it in place. So the set screws aren't holding on that, or they lost the set screws, and that's why that plate is turning. So I'll have to do something with that to try to fix that. I may or may not have some options coming. So I think there's going to be a really good chance of getting this in the air this weekend. I don't know. You may or may not see the videos. This is getting long enough. I'm rattling. I'm done, pushed, looking at stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, again, this is going to take me a while to edit because of all this nonsense I'm babbling about. But I've never messed with a NASA setup, which is apparently a DJI setup. I'm looking forward to learning a little bit about it because I've been doing stuff with APM 2.8 and I've got a 2.5 and a Pixhawk that I'm going to be working with. And so I'm looking forward to learning about those. And one thing that I have found over the years of PLC programming, computer programming, different stuff like that in this range, like with PLCs. So I can program a Siemens PLC, I can program an Allen Bradley PLC, and I have taken and jumped into other PLC variants, which I have like 3 or 4 other PLCs. Actually, I probably have more than that. But I have several other ones that are just like off-the-wall whatevers from China that I bought, put in, set them up, and plugged the software into, and was able to figure them out. So what I'm getting at is they're kind of meshed in a certain process. It's kind of the same between PLCs. Ladder logic is ladder logic, no matter what, between all the PLCs. Now, you may be using a Visual Basic variant in some cases. You may be using pure ladder logic. The logic is all the same. And so the hurdle is learning the software to use the logic functions that you already know about. And so, of course, you may have floating point that's available in one PLC and it's not available in the other. So you have to use whole numbers in one and you can use point whatever in other ones. It just depends. That may not sound like a big deal, but it really is when you start getting into some advanced PLC programming. And that's just one of the things. So I'm rattling about all of that to come back to these flight controllers. There's a basic process to these flight controllers. It seems like to me, as I'm learning this stuff, that there's a basic process to these flight controllers that is more or less the same. You're still going to have inputs, and you've got outputs. Inputs from your radio receiver, outputs going to your motors, going to your lights, inputs coming from your GPS or a camera, different ways of accessing that camera, different ways of accessing the GPS, and then your remote has to tie into the receiver, which basically just receives. It doesn't transmit, except for some. And in this case, I think this right here is sending back telemetry information, or maybe it's just receiving it through here and it's not sending anything back. But some receivers do. I'll have to look up the orange box thing there and see what options there are with it. But I do believe that we're gonna learn some stuff. We're gonna find some stuff out. It's gonna be kind of cool. So I appreciate you sticking around. Wake up! Come on, wake up! I'm sleepy too. Wake up! I do believe we're going to learn something here, and I think I have the opportunity to learn a lot from you guys. I'm looking forward to your input to teach me what and what. I got a huge box of drone motors. You may have seen that video. You may not have seen that video. It may not even have posted yet. But so I've got tons of options. So anyway, I may shoot this video completely over because I'm babbling. It's late and I'm tired. I appreciate you guys. I enjoy spending time with you, even when I'm tired and sleepy. And I will see you, yes, you, next time. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.